All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back again. Now, this is fair warning, actually. The video that I've been working on for months, I lost. I put it on a thumb drive, took it to work, and the computer system at work was, I guess, so secured. Once you attach anything to the computers at work, I guess I'm not supposed to, but it immediately encrypts it. And it encrypted my thumb drive and rendered it useless. I was able to get a hold of one of my good friends at the IT department, and they were able to retrieve it somewhat. So I have no idea what I'm doing on these videos. These videos are only for my friends and I, just to have fun, to enjoy things, laugh, and make videos on things that we use for our trucks. And if someone should find them interesting and can learn something from our mistakes or what we're even doing, then great, right? That's the whole plan. Someone did post a comment saying that I have no idea what I'm doing, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna let that get to me. I never said I knew what I was doing. This is purely for entertainment, purely for fun. And just so happened a bunch of guys out there, you guys, found interesting what I was doing. So great. Guys are there from the very beginning. Tyrone, what's up? Tiano Blood, Mr. Yoda Cruz, all those guys were there from the very beginning. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I will give you guys credit and identify you later as soon as I get everything squared away with all these videos. But back to this is the intro to Jamie's truck. He came over the course of several weeks, and we did a whole bunch of stuff. We filmed everything. It's going to be totally scattered. You probably won't even be able to follow what we're doing. So just a little fair warning. And at one point, Jamie was behind the camera. He has a very colorful language, I should say. So it took me hours to edit his part, if you can understand that. Yeah, so I hope you guys can bear with me through all this. I still have a ton more videos to do for everyone that had some questions. Yoda Cruz, I still gotta do your exhaust videos. This other guy was asking about videos for the 3rd gen 4Runner. I still gotta do that. I still gotta work on tearing out the suspension from the Tacoma, and work and life and everything. So it's pretty hectic. So I'll get to everything as fast as I can. Oh yeah, here, see? I'm still making the intake for the 4Runner. Made out of fiberglass. I'll show you guys later how I did this. I am going to wrap this with carbon fiber and glass it. And someone else had suggested that I do that also. So I got a ton of things to do. The next video, I apologize. It's so scattered. Bear with me. As time goes on, I'm going to get used to navigating and using my computer and figuring out how to work all these things. So just bear with me, guys. And I'll probably take some time to clear my head, get stress-free. And I still have the video, hopefully this weekend, if I get a chance to go riding our one wheels with my friend Derek. That ought to be interesting. To learn to ride the one wheel, oh my God. It almost killed me riding that thing. It's no wonder why people do end up in a hospital on these things. But once you learn how to ride it, once you stay within your riding limits, you're fine. It's when you go out of these limits, like Derek said, that things happen, and they happen really, really hard. It does not feel good hitting the pavement. But anyway, thanks for everything, guys. This next video is of Jamie and some of the things we did to his Tacoma over the course of how many weeks. And we're still not done with this truck, in fact. All right, I'll see you guys. Thanks for everything, everyone. All right, today's video is not my project, but my friend Jamie's project. So we're working on his truck today. There's like 1,000 videos on how to pull these grills off. So yeah, you guys can check that out. We're swapping out the grills. And we are going to be throwing on the rough country intake that's in the box, the one that I was trying to give away but nobody wanted it. So good old Jamie here took it. I'm gonna let Jamie do most of the work, that way you guys can see that someone can actually do this that really has no idea what to do, and I'm just gonna be pointing, telling him what screws to take out. So let's get on that project for today. The grill is real easy to come off. It was just one screw here, one screw here, pull tab there, pull tab there. Grab it and you just pull it off, and it literally just popped right off. So while Jamie is working on that, I'm gonna go sit down and play some Call of Duty Mobile.
It's in the car.
What is that? Hey, look it.
Oh, the finish. What's the next project?
We're gonna put in probably the rough country intake. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is pop off this clip here. So Jamie's gonna pop off the clip. Oh no. Okay, once we get that clip off, we're gonna come here and take off the hose clamp for the breather, for the valve cover. Then we can undo the 10 millimeters on the throttle body and the 10 millimeter on this end. Then we're gonna pop off the cap, the air box, the top of the air box. So once we get all that off, then I'll show you what we're gonna take off on the inside. Okay, top of the air box is off. Exposing air cleaner. There's one, two, I think 2 or 3 screws in here. We're gonna take that off, and the rough country air box will sit in there, and then we can start getting everything else together.
Got for cars.
All right, that easy. All right, now let's prep the rough country shield there. The rough country intake system will come with these little doohickey things. I'm not sure what you call these guys. Grommets, whatever. Threaded grommets. So there's one in the back, one towards the inner part of the fender well, and another one here. So hang on, let me just get the screw. Here, you grab that. Twist that guy on, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The instructions, I think, do go over the installation in better detail, but if you just look at it, it's pretty obvious what screws go where, brackets, and so forth. I think that's a 14 or 17. You have to take that off after. You have to align the L bracket.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so as much as you can, try to screw that guy down. And I think once we put the air box on and we tighten that, it'll tighten everything sequentially.
Okay.
All right, so next we can grab the intake box. Sit back. Oh, we gotta take this. Oh wait, yeah, I think we do have to tighten that nut down.
Turn all the way down?
Or pretty snug, just so we can see where the holes are gonna line up.
It's not moving. Or use the right?
Because that bolt will secure the L bracket.
This thing doesn't even move. So I use this to get it out.
So once we tighten that screw, that grommet with the L bracket, we can drop the rough country box on top of this to make sure that it lines up, and then we can crank it down for the final.
Look how everything is right there. Everything is right there.
All right, sit the box on, see which, I forgot which angle the L bracket has to go, so.
Let's go like this, huh?
Yeah, but the L bracket can turn different angles, and we gotta look at it from the top down to make sure we got the correct. I think it goes further. Wait.
Like this?
No, the other way. Yeah.
Like this?
No. Yeah, that's it.
You sure?
Yep. Because this coupler goes to the engine.
And what goes to here?
These bolts. Where did it go? These bolts right here. Just make sure everything aligns good.
Oh, maybe I put them down too far in?
All right, so we're gonna do this off camera just to make things a little easier, and we'll come right back. Yeah, before I forget, we need to transfer the mass air sensor here, and we're gonna transfer it onto the rough country one with the arrow pointing towards the engine. So we'll transfer that over to this guy. I did swap out, rough country has a plastic. This nipple is for the breather. I swapped it out for brass. The plastic ones do tend to corrode and break after a while with the extreme heats under the motor. So now this thing will be perfect for like the next, I don't know, whatever, 20 years. All right, so while Jamie is screwing down all the screws down right there, while he's screwing those guys down, I think I have enough time for another round of Call of Duty Mobile. All right. All right, go for it. Just taking off the mass air sensor. Just pull that guy out.
Okay.
And then we transfer it over to the rough country. And orientation with the arrow. I think it only goes one way too. Here, this is the Allen wrench for that guy. I try not to. Well, I can edit it out.
The bleeps. Just say, I'm sorry, Jamie here makes a lot of cussing sounds.
Yeah, they're stainless, so if you drop it, I can't grab my magnet to pick it up. Yeah. We should do an oil change on this truck. I need to change mine also. We should do an oil change. Actually, they said they did the oil change before I drove away yesterday. Are they serious, or? I don't know. We can check. We should check. See what the oil looks like? Yeah. We can do that on Sunday. We'll be back on Sunday. We can go buy all that stuff. But we're gonna edit. I got time off, dude. Yeah, I'll do some of that.
Okay, and now it's just a matter of connecting it to the throttle body and that coupler.
Oh, yes. Throttle body first.
Yeah. Or maybe that side
This
first.
side first.
I might have to loosen the clamp. I think it might be on a little too tight. I think it's a 10.
Yeah.
I mean, we could even just put a little bit of oil on the inside just so the tube will slide in and out better.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll be right back and grab the oil. right, finally got everything on. All the hose clamps are on. Last part is to throw the filter on. There you go.
Cussing up a storm again.
Make sure it's seated flush and everything looks good. Yeah, crank that guy down. Okay, we're done. Test drive.
Test drive is good.
And this is how we're gonna keep two 6-year-olds busy. All right. Now we can get on to Jamie's things. We're gonna also change out the hood shocks, like I said. These are gonna go on to Jamie's Tacoma. And we're gonna put these guys on mine. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, well, we already did. Popped off the side plastic pieces. We're gonna measure out, this is from my old truck. We're gonna measure out where they actually belong. A reference point is gonna be this hole here. I think it's 3 5/8, I believe, your first hole. And then we're gonna measure out the bottom, drill those guys, both sides, and we should be good.
Watch it.
Yeah, I can edit it out. So 3 5/8. 3 5/8, right there. Okay, that's our first hole. That marker hole will be the first one we're gonna do, and everything else will run off of that hole. Right. And this is what happens when you give someone else the video camera to record. Okay, that's our first pilot hole.
You know what else you can do with the GoPro? You can put it on top of the drill, and every time you go drill things in.
Shucks, I gotta clean that up. I seen guys that.
You want to explain what you got there?
We're just gonna rivet this guy in here like this. Everybody should know what a rivet is.
Some people don't know what rivets are.
There you go. All right. So now everything will run off of that first hole that we made. We're gonna clamp this on. Mark our holes for the next one right here. And that's it. Is it still on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First one. That's all right, everyone. I didn't get a chance to film the installation of the tinting, but I'll throw in a bunch of pictures, and here is the final finish. All right, so we got the tint. the tint is about 5%, which is hella dark. Check your states for your own rules and regulations. We got the grill here, and we do have the rough country intake in. Jamie wants to lift the front of the truck, so we'll probably do that, but I'll throw in a bunch of pictures of the tintings. And so far we're done with this project until the next time when we start lifting the front. All right, see you guys. Okay, thanks again for checking out this video, and I apologize, like I said, in advance, and I'm apologizing now. It was so chopped up. It seemed like things are all over the place, and yeah, it was. And that's because it was totally my fault. We did this project over the course of how many weeks? I lost some of the footage. I had to edit a lot from Jamie and his colorful mouth. But yeah, I mean, his truck turned out pretty good. He did get a set of new wheels and tires. So next week, I think we are going to lift it 3 inches. So I'll try to organize things a lot cleaner on that side. And I finally got my GoPro working that he gave me. It's a GoPro 7 Black. And this is a step up for me. Because all this time, from the very beginning, I've been using my iPhone. So we're gonna ditch the iPhone, finally use something somewhat decent. I did order a case and an external mic, and that's gonna allow for better sound quality. Then I can do the video for Mr. Yoda Cruise in regards to the exhaust. To throw even more things in the mix, my brother finally decided to work on his truck. So he built a pre-runner. We're going to be dropping in a supercharger. It already has, I don't know what he did to it so far. I think he did like the full back half in the bed, 16-inch King suspension. So that thing is set up to do pre-running. We are probably going to drop in the supercharger, drop in his racing seats and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I still got to work on my truck. And I still got to work on my other friends. And I still got to do a ton more. So infinite projects, right? Not only cars, we're going to be doing housework. I'm going to be adding an extension onto my house and all kinds of stuff. This is just driving me nuts. But thanks for sticking around, guys. I appreciate everything, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.